Hello, hello, hello.
Hey there,
Welcome
everyone.
to
I'm sorry,
welcome
didn't mean I'm immediately talking over you the second we get into the intro. Sonny, take it away. Go for it.
Hey, it's what we do, though, Darkman. You and I have always done that so many times. But we still make it work, dude. So, welcome to the Duckling Extra Credit Reveal.
Yep.
This is week 4, going to be titled as Mage Masher.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be an interesting one for you. You've been dealing with interesting parties for the last couple weeks over in the main Duckling seeds that you've been running as a Duckling in this year's Duckling, or this season's Duckling Boot Camp. I guess it's twice yearly. Year doesn't matter. But this one is going to be an interesting one, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I know, Sonny, you were looking over these flags earlier. For the most part, there's not a lot of surprises up until we get to the party.
Yeah, there really aren't a lot of surprises until we get to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, everything else is quite tame.
Yeah. Shops are random, like shuffled. Magic levels within the spells, the usual magic shuffling. The RNG is shuffled. Enemies, all the standard stuff. There are the special trap tiles, the ultimate formations, and all the trap tiles are shuffled. Get a free ship, free bridge, free tail, which honestly I was really kind of nice in that regard. 18 of 18, your key areas are your elemental dungeons, and then it's going to be all the standard stuff with the Mazamoon included, so go looking for that Mazamoon if you want it. Short Topher included in this, so even your end game is really not going to be that hard, but no alt final boss, so all you're going to be fighting is chaos. Standard open progression. Huh?
Yes, and I just noticed something was wrong with mine.
Okay.
Or, no I didn't. Never mind. I was on the wrong tab.
There you go.
I'm smart.
Standard open progression, Northern Docks. Good thing you have that ship. You might be doing some sailing. Usual earlies, usual adjustments that we make to the maps. Separate HP scaling on both. What's interesting for this is generally when you see the separate HP scaling, it's because we've cranked the HP up while we've kept the stats low. This is the opposite this time around. The enemy stats are going to be higher than their HP. So you could have like really, really strong bosses, but in every instance you're going to be dealing with one that has only at max 80% of their health. So I think that for what? Chaos, it's like 1,600 instead of 2 grand that he can have. So
correct.
Not bad. And there's a reason for this. You may be wondering why we were so kind, and the reason is because it's Mage Masher, you're only getting mages. No fighters, no thieves, no black belts. It's time to mash those mages because that's all you're getting. And we're going to see in a second the party that Sonny came up with. Do get two blurst bonuses, no malices. So we're going to see what kind of fun stuff comes in for this. And then the usual conveniences. I mean, yeah, black belt half the crit rate is half, but no black belt, so whatever. And I guess the only other thing to point out is there are not the improved spells here. So your lamp, your aim, those are going to work standard for the game. So yeah, this is just a puzzle of figuring out how to take your mages and make them work. So, Sonny, while I get chat up so I can see if they have any questions, what are you going to be running for us today?
So I'm going to be running red, white, double black mage. Red mage has plus 10 agility, plus 10 MDef. The white mage has improved MP, which means I will be gaining charges in every level as I level up, and plus 20 HP. So the white mage will actually have a decent amount of HP come to the end game. The black mage is the one that I am taking 2 of because I believe in power, which they get plus 20 MDef and plus Vorpal. The plus 20 MDef is very nice to see because if we run across anything nasty early, spell-wise, there is a chance to be able to resist it. And the other benefit that the black mage has is it can equip the Vorpal sword, which you may be thinking, it doesn't mean much, but with the crit rate on the Vorpal, it does mean quite a bit.
Well, and when you're factoring in the fact that these bosses only have 80% of their health, and at minimum 50% of their health, a Black Mage swinging a Vorpal might actually do something.
Now the only question is, will I be able to find the
Vorpal.
defense sword, which is the ruse item,
Yeah.
and I'll explain more as to what the defense sword does later
Sure.
on as we encounter it.
Mm-hmm.
If we encounter it. If not, I'll explain what its use would be.
Sure. But with that, I think looks like everyone in chat is ready to go. They're all itching to see a mage-only party here, so why don't you take your red mage Oreo and get it rolling? Just remember, we're about 20-ish seconds behind you, so...
That's fine.
Cool.
So, I'm going to go ahead and count it down from 3. So, once it actually catches up, then you'll know. So, I'm going to get this rolling in 3, 2, 1, now.
Okay. I'll press start on the timer as soon as we see it going.
So...
There we go. Okay. So...
The very first thing I always do, especially with a mage party like this, is I will check spells, and
yeah,
I did find 2 quite good spells in level 1 black magic, and level 1 white magic is why I went ugh.
Yeah, it's a little garbo, but with I mean, you've got Brack and Quad X, and I mean, if you want an AoE, you've got cheap Zap there. I guess you got
Correct.
Fire too, but I don't know, I kind of like the look of those instant deaths better.
Yeah, I'm very much more inclined to take the instant deaths for the early game, because Quad X is power word kill, and what a power word spell is it is a spell that will instantly affect an enemy with 300 HP or fewer.
Yep.
And in the case of Quad X, it is power word death.
Yep. Now, bear in mind that only affects enemies that are actually susceptible to it, which is anything that's living. And you're probably sitting there going, well, that's a lot of stuff. The undead, all the undead are not affected by it. Machines are not affected by it. And that also includes golems. So all the various rock and mud and all that are not affected. Garland, however, is. Garland dies instantly to the Quad X. And we get to go to Princess Sarah and see the canoe.
And the king had the chime.
The chime. Interesting.
Now, I would normally take the early sweeper, but in this case, with Fire 2 having such a limited damage range, it wouldn't be the best one for me to take. What I would prefer to have early on with the level 2 elemental spells would be Ice 2. So let's see what level 2 white magic will have. Hopefully better stuff.
Yeah, at least the towns aren't shuffled, so you knew where Provoca was, you got that ship, you can come right over here. And Viz 2, that's something for the white mage to have, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not.
And then...
Okay, I did pick up.
Lightning 2. I mean... Thing is, yeah, I was seeing in chat some people were commenting that Fire 2 over Zap, but I think you were banking on the same thing I was. We're gonna probably find a sweeper in the next couple of levels, and Lightning 2 is... I'm a bigger fan of it. I know there are people that say get the Fire over the Lightning because it works against the undead. Lightning just seems more applicable to a lot of stuff, so you got a sweeper. You're good. You're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lightning will still work against the undead. But it doesn't have the damage bonus that Fire would normally have.
Yeah, they don't resist it. They like they do with Ice. They actually actively resist that. They just don't get a bonus. There's our canal. So the whole world is almost entirely open to you at this point.
Yeah, the world is just about my oyster. Okay, I have 1,500 gold. So what I'm going to do with the gold that I have right now is I'm going to go ahead and jump back here into the level 2 black magic shop, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more lit 2.
Cut. Yeah, no, that's a good call. Have the sweeper on the various characters that can cast it. I agree with that.
And from here, now that the world is more or less my oyster, I'm going to head down to this fun little place that y'all may know of called Elfland, because it does have 2 magic shops. It's got level 3 and level 4 magic. So I want to see what both level 3 and level 4 black and white magics have. Now, the red mage permissions specifically are that I can only learn slots 1 and 3 of level 3 and level 4 white magic. And I am already in love.
Quake's not bad. What do we have at white? I'm assuming it's something good. Oh, there it is. Fade. Fade slot 1, that's going to help your red mage and your white mage out. Seeing Cure 4 slot 2 is a little sad, but at least your white mage can get it.
And Life Reboot has the exact thought that went through my head.
We need some stuff to sell right now.
Or we need some luck in a few chests.
Yep. Matoya's retirement fund or the Dwarfen Treasury or something like that. I mean...
And that actually might be good.
Well, I mean, other thing you could do if you were feeling saucy, you could go to Hall of Giants and see if there's anything in there that's worth a decent amount that can be quad-axed.
I could.
You could.
The only reason I won't is because I currently don't have any armor, and as you can tell, these wolves are just annihilating my red mage.
Oh, it's fine. It's just fine.
The biggest gold chest in the game is 65,535 gold.
Yeah, that's a question from chat. 65. The max is the max the NES can actually technically process. So, if you wonder where that number comes from, the 65 something or other, that's the max the number table can handle.
Yeah, because the values start from 0 and go to 65535. Not black magic. If I remember correctly, there isn't a chest that actually has max gold.
In the vanilla game?
In the vanilla game, I don't remember if there's a chest with 65535 gold.
Yeah. I mean, you can get that in the randomizer, but I don't recall whether or not.
Okay, so we're not having much luck with armor. So the red mage can equip chain armor, which is nice for now.
It's cheap,
but
it's something.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm looking for gold bracelets or silver bracelets or just something, some sort of bracelet. Mm-hmm. Even if it's copper, I'll be okay with it. Thank you, JLo. Here at level 4, the white magic's alright.
JLo in chat letting us know that 65 grand even is the best you can find. So, white magic at level 4 is kind of a wash. And black magic, fire 3.
Yep, but I cannot really afford it right now.
Not yet. Nope. Gotta go earn some of that money.
Yep, so now I'm going to find out some stuff. Welcome, Dangwoo.
Yeah, as Life Reboot points out, and this is something you're going to learn when you're playing this chat, or playing this round, you want to buy magic for all your mages. You want to buy armor for all your mages. You may even want to buy a weapon or two for some of your mages. Mages, when you have to buy all of that, get expensive. So, money is going to be something you have to worry about in this. Oh, look, more chain. Thanks. But coppers aren't bad.
The copper bracelet's coming in clutch here.
Yep.
And, oh no. So, Darkmoon, I need to ask you a serious question.
Okay.
Do I go for some cheese?
I mean, that's your call. Bear in mind, the first week we did these extra credits, Will Bloodworth came in and did Will Bloodworth things. So, I mean, you do the strat you like to do. At the very least, it will be a learning experience for our ducklings and platypi.
True.
And so if you're curious while watching him and you wonder why the enemies don't look right, he's got the shuffled palettes for enemies on.
I do have the fun enemy sprites turned on. It's one of the things I normally run with. So I took the Ogre Hyena pack, since I know that's a decent gold count pack.
Yeah, it's
But
like
now
taking
we're
the
gonna
ogres and creeps outside of Elfland. There's always money in the banana stand there, you know. As I make my wife laugh in the background.
All right, so our first tile is the gold mine.
Okay, we'll find it in a sec. Hold on. We will see just as soon as we're through here. And we have, oh, red giant agama. Are they quad Xable? That is the question. Quad X does not kill the agama. Does kill the red giant though, which is nice. Oh wow, those are beefcake agamas.
Yeah, they weren't too bad. So now, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to save. I'm going to refill my MP, and I'm going to come back in.
Yeah. You don't have any houses, do you?
Negative. I have not found any houses yet.
So walk up to the Melmond Inn then and save there, and then walk back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Well, and the nice thing about that particular fight you have there is agamas are also considered to be one of those like EXP rich fights. That with the red giant and hopefully some extra agamas afterwards, you're going to be getting some good levels off of this to make all your fades and your other worthwhile spells much better to cast.
Absolutely, which you may have noticed, I went from level 4 to level 8 on that fight.
Yep.
That is how much of a difference the EXP makes, especially when you're at low level. And I don't remember what the key item scaling is for this flag set, but that will also
I think it's probably standard.
Later.
Hold on, I can look it up for you. Scale, we're looking at 2.5 times plus 250, and then 5% per key.
Yeah, so it's not too terribly bad.
It's standard. So, and I mean, for those of you in chat that are scoffing at the idea of walking to Melbourne for spell charges, I've done this in spring tournament matches before, and those were the ones I won. Sometimes, I don't always recommend it, but sometimes you gotta do it.
So the red giants have under 200 HP.
Yeah, they're not strong at all. That was 184 right there. And I mean, a good fade cast and not a low roll, and the agamas go down as well. That's pretty.
So this one, I'm not going to start off with quad Xing. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and
fade, lit.
Fade. Yeah, go all fade, all lit.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And it paid off heavily. So I'm going to shoot for, I think, about level 12. I think level 12 would be good here.
Yeah, 12 to 15, depending on what you're comfortable with for the people in the home audience. You can see he's only getting a level around. I mean, quote unquote, only. He's getting a level around. That's not bad. But how far you go with the grind, early or late game, and what grind you take, these are things to think about when you're playing the game. And something to consider is, like, are you getting at least a level per fight? If you're not, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should think about something else.
So now we are going to be sitting at level 13. Stun Touch was on the Agamas.
Yep, Stun Touch Ags. So that's not fun, but as your MDef goes up, that's going to be less and less scary.
Absolutely, which I won't have to worry about too terribly much on the Black Mages due to their plus 20 MDef. So, as you can probably guess, I'm going to be running back to Melmond again, but this time I'm going to be doing a little extra stuff here in Melmond. So,
Hate13 just coming into chat asking what the gimmick is this week. All mages, all the time. No melee whatsoever. I mean, you can take your red mage and melee with them if you want, for example, but yeah, these are mage parties. All mages.
Oh, that's no bueno.
What's wrong?
Fast is promotion locked.
Ouch. Third slot?
Fast is in the warp slot, which is the third slot in Melman, level 5 black magic, which is an unfortunate circumstance, but definitely not the end of the world. So here we go.
Well, and I mean, you have a free tail, so all you need is a floater.
What's this concept of a tail you speak of?
I mean, if you don't want to promote, that's fine. Although, I leave that decision up to you.
I just figured I'd break your brain for a second.
I mean, I'm trying to consider whether or not fast is really a priority. Light Reboot even commenting it's not as big a priority for mages.
Fast is nowhere near a priority, but
yeah.
Wow, my brain literally just stopped.
You did it to yourself, man.
Real quick. Oh, hey, that's a thing. I'll pick that up. And I need to note something down.
Oh, hey, the crown. Look at that. Very nice.
And I don't have anything to be able to pick those up.
Good to know the pro rings are there, though.
Yep, as well as some of this other info I'm grabbing. I very well may pick that up later. So, you may have seen Confuse in the level 6 Black Magic shop, and you may have seen that I picked up a Wizard Staff earlier, which also casts Confuse. Confuse is very useful later on down the line, since Carrie is susceptible to Confuse. You can actually use that to make Carrie a much safer fight than what she would normally be.
It does
work. What's up, Celeria?
Yeah, in the case of Carrie, so we've touched upon this before, but Confuse causes your enemies to attack themselves. The game, being perfectly coded the way it is, does this by having the enemies cast fire on themselves. This is a weird thing to think about when some enemies may not have magic at all, but every single enemy, if you can confuse them, will cast fire on themselves. In the case of Carrie, what this effectively means is she lightly punches herself afterwards because she's also guarded against fire. So, yeah, but what the key is not to get the damage on Carrie from her confusion, although you can do that. The key is to keep her confused so she's not attacking.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh at well programmed.
I was joking. That was sarcasm.
I know. That's the problem.
Like, I think that's a meme of the randomizer community. Is every game someone talks about when they're talking about a randomizer core, it's like it's a well coded game, quote unquote. You know, no game is well coded when you start digging into it.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna notice that I got the ruby, yep, and that I am just heading directly towards Sarda.
Yep. Titan's Trove isn't incentivized, but Sarda, as a main NPC, is incentivized.
Correct, but I am going to make a detour over to the Titan's Trove because I need money for those programs I just found.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You're looking for treasure or things to hawk.
Yeah, I'm looking for sellable items, which I may have picked one up.
Ooh, the X-Cal. Well, you're not exactly using it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll
just go hang that on a wall or drop it in the volcano or just give it to a vendor. It's a legendary sword.
There's probably some otaku out there looking to have a nice sword on their wall.
That's true. So, oh boy, what's Sarda gonna have? And all I have to say is I hope you like fetch quests.
Okay, that gives us the crystal, so we have the crown and the crystal so far. We can do turn-ins for both of them.
Which, my next stop is actually going to be to turn in the crown.
Yeah, it's on the path. That's solid routing.
So, the other option would be to go turn in the crystal and then on my way back turn in the crown. But since I can just run over here to turn in the crown, it's going to be a lot easier for me to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh boy, hold.
And yeah, something to note for everyone who's watching this, Sonny Rath got a good chunk of money off those Agama fights he took a little bit ago, and now he's broke again. So just once again showing mages need money.
Yeah, that is something that cannot be stressed enough. Mages and the money requirement on them, it's really, really high.
Yeah. They run on money. Like, almost as bad as samurais in Final Fantasy V.
Or even Final Fantasy III for the Famicom.
Mm-hmm. Cube. Oh yeah, just the amount of magic you gotta buy in any of those games. So Cube gives us full access to Sky Palace if you really felt like doing it.
I mean, I've got level 1 Brack.
And everyone in chat's eagerly anticipating you doing it, of course. The calls for Sky, Sky, Sky.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're about to see something bad. We're about to see something bad. What do they got? What do the Sayhags got? Lightning 2! Whee! Whee! When was the last time you saved?
Just now.
Oh. Smart! Good thing you had life too.
Yep. I had a feeling I was going to be okay, and I knew I had amassed a lot of charges on the White Mage so far, since it does have improved MP. Like I mentioned at the start, that improved MP blessing allows me to gain charges on every level upon reaching certain levels.
Very nice. So it's just like fast MP generation.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. The special blur things brought to you by Final Fantasy Randomizer. Out of the way, Broom.
We will be heading to Sky very shortly.
The tint. Okay, so let's find out what the tint becomes.
It's going to become something that goes on a car.
The hood ornament?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to turn it into a hood ornament. So, Money Mercs, the answer as to what is incentivized are the main NPCs, the fetch NPCs, and all 4 of the Fiend dungeons.
Yep, just the 4 elemental dungeons. So it's an 18 of 18 seed when you consider the free ship, the free bridge, and the free tail that were included in the seed.
So let's go see what not Becky, Narek has. Narek being the dwarf that you hand in the TNT or the nitro powder in the later iterations of the game.
Explodey McBeardman.
Yeah, we got Explodey McBeardman and Smitty McBeardsmith.
Them dwarves and their beards. And the slabbery.
Wait for it.
I'm waiting. I eagerly anticipate with bated breath. Hooray! 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 Here we go.
So the way I'm actually going to... good question, Life Reboot. I was actually about to answer that.
How do you prioritize what dungeon incentive to go to?
The way I was going to prioritize my dungeon incentives is based upon the key items I have, though I do have one more location I can check, even though I do not have warp or exit right now. I have, well, technically 2 locations. I've got Waterfall, and I could head to Ordeals to check tiles there if I really wanted to, even though Ordeals isn't incentivized. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over here to the Waterfall. I overshot it.
Yeah, you have, at this point, you have like 4 locations left open to you that have items. Waterfall, well, 3. Waterfall, the Ice Palace.
Waterfall, Sky, Volcano, Earth Cave, incentivized.
Well, yeah, but you don't have Rod yet, do you?
I don't need Rod. The incentivized chest is behind the vampire.
Shoot, you're right. Thank you. I'm so used to, like, random incentivizing now. Yeah, so, no, you do have 4. I was right the first time. You have Waterfall, Earth, Sky, which is open because you have the 2 items there, and Volcano because you have the canoe.
Correct.
So you're coming over here to Waterfall, which actually is a move... I don't know if I would have done this yet, personally. Just because
I'm
I know,
actually
like,
coming over here to check for save items.
yeah, I get this. Like, I just personally, I'm with. I think you're on this school as well as not coming over here until you have the Oxyale if you can get away with it.
Well, that's highly unfortunate.
Cure 1 at level 7?
No. Wait until you see Black Magic.
Oh yeah, I was expecting Nuke. I just wanted to be sarcastic. But the Cure 1, Sonny.
So, I have thought about doing Rodless Earth, but really the only time I'll do Rodless Earth is if I have Warp or Exit at the ready.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. Earth is not really on my list either. Sky, I would probably be with the group and go with Sky for that one. Especially if you had a house or two you could use outside.
Yeah, currently I don't have a house, so that's the only reason I'm doing Waterfall before I do Sky. Even though I don't have Warp or Exit, and I know Warp and Exit are going to be later on in the spells, which is unfortunate again.
Yeah.
But I'll live with it. This is just a proximity play at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wanting to take too many of these encounters, but I am going to have to run right on out of here. This is actually a good one to take because of the amount of monsters in the pack. A 7-pack is the highest, if I remember correctly, that you can get here in Waterfall.
Yeah.
So it's good gold and decent EXP, so sitting at level 15 across the board really isn't that bad.
I want to say with this pack you can get a second Wiz Mummy in the Waterfall version of it. You kind of hope for that, but you take what you can get. Mummies are still decent EXP.
We're not wasting that spell on these.
But the Grimps. Oh, the unrunnable Grimps. It's funny.
I needed to let that sit for just a second.
There's the Gatekeeper right there. Oh, the floater. Oh,
so
crap! I haven't been
this kind of throws a wrench into what I was planning.
Floater, crown, crystal, TNT, ruby. I'm so bad at this. Slab. Did you do slab translation yet?
Not yet. Now that I have airship, I'm going to.
Okay, and there we go. Yeah, that was a seriously strong play right there. I'm impressed it worked.
I'm actually really shocked it worked. This was a literal gamble, and I knew it was a gamble. Now the gamble is, can I get out of here? I don't think it'll be sub-hour. It has the potential, but I don't think it will be, because I am very much under-geared right now.
Yeah, thing is, though, you do know where a good grind is.
Yes, I do.
You do.
And I forgot to give my shout-outs to the out-of-bounds bat, so thank you, J-Lo, for saying that. No, not Cure 4. Fade. So one of the weirdest things to get used to in this game is menuing to your magic, in my opinion. The magic menu, you can hit up to wrap down to level 8, and you can hit down to just scroll down as per normal. But if you're trying to menu to your magic quickly, it can actually be somewhat difficult.
It can be challenging at times, this is true. And frankly, I think that's a flaw that just about every Final Fantasy game has. It's just 3 spells across and a lot of text, and it can be hard to see all that at once and navigate it quickly.
Oh, very much so. So I'm going to head back over here into OnRack, check my gold real quick, which I have enough to go ahead and pick up the big spell itself, Nuke.
Oh, Nuke.
Cure.
Cure 1, man!
Give it its chance to shine.
It's an all-mage party. Cure, man. Come on.
I've already got Cure 4, though.
But it's at level 7, man. It's gotta be great.
Right? Pardon the dog in the background. So yeah, now that I have the floater, I've got a lot more open to me.
A wealth of opportunities ahead of you.
The entirety of the world now. Oh, the white mage will most definitely have enough level 7 charges.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
This white mage is probably going to get level 8 magic very soon. So, you may notice my directions and travel were interesting. It's just because this is the easiest way for me to get to the Ryukon Desert. Okay, what are we going to have here? Of course.
A horse?
Of course.
Warp. Oh, lovely. Hey, you can class change for it.
Of course.
Oh, and eggs.
Yeah, I needed to stop to do some checking.
14.5 grand gold bracelets. That's not bad. That's a pretty nice price for gold bracelets, all things considered.
Absolutely, but I'm going to go ahead and stop to pick up some softs because stone.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And so now that I know where warp and exit are, as well as the price tag on each of them, I'm actually going to go ahead and go grab them. But before I do that, I need to amass some money.
Yep.
And we're in luck because we found a beautiful tile that we can amass a lot of money on.
We did.
So this is something that I would refer to more as a heads up play because it's based upon the knowledge that you have of the seed already. And you're coming in to just go ahead and get this done.
Here we go.
I did already check Sarda Life Reboot, but if you don't have the ruby and you do get the airship, you can go ahead and head to Sarda to check what he has.
So long as early Sarda is on, all you gotta do is be able to get to him to get his item. No other prereqs required.
So since I know how little HP these encounters have, for the most part, I can just run in and fade Quad X, Ice 3, insert spell here, and just get the job done. So I'm going to be sitting here for just a little bit.
Just a touch. You've already gotten a good chunk of your key items out of the way, so you're getting good experience off of this. This is the right time probably to do this, especially when you're talking about squishy mages go exploring.
Oh, absolutely. Case in point with getting hit and then stunned.
Yeah.
So Fade's minimum roll is 80. So it is extremely low. And also doing this will solve our money problems very heavily.
Yeah, the fact that Fade has a minimum roll of 80 versus Nuke's, what, 100?
Nuke's minimum roll is 100.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why it's considered the poor man's Fade. Why Fade is considered the poor man's Nuke. And then, of course, Harm 4, if you buy it, only works against the undead, but it has Fade level rolling, so it's like the poor man's Nuke, essentially.
So yeah, That's a very good question, Hate, but the answer ultimately is that it does not make much of a difference. Black Belt MDEF changes drastically via promotion, but
the others do not.
Yeah, Mage magic defense growth really doesn't change much. If I remember correctly, it goes from 2 to 3. So it's a very minor difference.
Yeah, if you're gonna be
6,000.
I mean, fast is here, and if fast was a concern, that would be one thing. But like, if you had nuke or something that you wanted to buy at Melmond on the promotion locked slot, you might do your class change before you came down here, so you could like route it all together. But if fast isn't really a concern, or you're thinking you might try to go without it for a while, then there's no real benefit to promoting before or after for mages.
Let's see if I can get some turn order. Like that. Yeah. Good. Okay, I think 66,000. Yeah, that should be alright for right now. I'm doing the one thing I shouldn't do on Twitch, and that is math.
Remember, kids, don't let your friends do math on Twitch.
So, I'm still in a slight pinch for money, and I know I am. So I'm going to check 2 of the Cardia Isles that I know I can actually access quickly. Those 2 would be the Forest Island as well as the Grassland Island. The Forest Island having 7 chests in it, so a decent amount of items to be picked up. And the Grassland Grassland one having 3 chests within it, so totaling 10 chests. There are 13 chests total in the Cardia Islands that you can loot. The Marsh one, though, is probably the most dangerous to get to, in my opinion, just because you have a much longer walk to it. And I obtained what is personally my favorite item.
901 gold?
House in a box.
Ah.
Okay, that's a good point, Hate. So, due to free tail, I'm going to go ahead and talk to Bahamut, and now I'm going to promote, because now I feel like the time is right to go ahead and promote. I've gotten to level 20. I'm feeling fairly confident with the money that I have, the spells that I have, stuff like that, because my white mage is just decked out in spells, and about to be even more decked out in spells. My black mages, they're all right. The only downside is I don't have any nuke charges right now, but that's about the worst of it all. But I'm not actually going to need warp, so instead I'm just going to go ahead and buy exit. Come over here to the weapon shop. I'm going to go ahead and sell off these weapons, even though it is minimal value. To sell off the weapons, it's still going to be...
It's money, and you need money.
Yeah, it's 2 gold bracelets, which I need, and a buckler, that's not armor, which is useful for the red mage. Oh, God, I didn't even realize I was already at 9 charges on the white wizard. Okay. We have literally everything. I did forget to do something while I was around Melmond.
Okay.
And that was, I forgot to translate the slab. But that's okay. So we're going to run here into Sky. That's right. We're doing Sky first. And, okay. I was about to say, and I made a mistake. Yeah, unfortunately I missed it, Velik, but I appreciate it. The vampire pack in and of itself is a very high gold yielding pack. As you saw from killing 5 of them, I got 17,500 gold.
Well, we're about to see. There it is, yep.
Yeah, 17,500 gold, which is extremely nice. I'm getting used to the delay slowly but steadily, I promise. I'm going to go ahead and take this pack. So, once again, the reason why I'm taking a lot of these encounters is because money matters a lot. So, Life Through Root asking an excellent question in chat, and Wolf and Josh getting that question right on the nose.
What are Chimera's weak to? Scathing Wit. Oh, I mean Ice.
They are weak to a rather nice spell. Could even be nice 2 or nice 3. So, even though I didn't pick up fire at the beginning of the game, I'm not really kicking myself too terribly much because ultimately I'm looking for encounters so that way I can get money. I can be able to buy... Ooh, hold on a moment.
Well, we're going to see in just a second. Oh, look! Guesties! This is worthwhile to take.
So this is one of the best gold-yielding encounters tiles in the game with the alternate trap tile formations.
Yeah, that's a lovely tile to find. And you're right here, so... So I know we've covered this before, but if you find a tile you like, and you want to keep taking it, one of the things you can do is bear in mind that in Final Fantasy, for all but a very select set of rooms, mostly in Temple of Fiends, if you walk along the edge of a wall... Oh, there goes your white mage. Oops.
Yeah, we're in dire straits right now.
Panic mode. If you walk along the edge of a wall, you won't get encounters along that edge. It's just the way the game is programmed. This is not going well from the sound of it. Well.
All right.
So
let's be dumb.
We're just gonna continue onward.
We're risking this for the biscuit.
Risky biscuits. Wasn't that a Shantae game?
No, I wouldn't have had the charges for Warp, Marcus. Otherwise, Warp would have been nice.
Oh yeah, Solaria Rest correcting me because I thought I said this, but I didn't. You don't get encounters along a wall as long as it has a door in it. So. And he did it all for a song. Oh, which I guess I should mark off.
Might be a good idea.
Yep. Do my job once in a while.
You've got a job?
Yeah, no, not really.
Oh. Okay.
Come on, there you go. Whiz vamps. They're like, la, and you're like, run.
Oh, I am going all Brax all day. Just so long as I can make it. Gonna be okay.
Ooh, I think those nachos went moldy.
A little bit.
Ugh.
Oh, come on.
Hydrants.
At least they're not blazing.
Yeah, that was something we ran into in a seed we ran yesterday. Blaze hydrants when they ambush. That's not fun.
Here we go.
Wolf and Josh, were the mages forced? Well, you weren't forced into your party comp, but there are absolutely no melee players in this flag set, so all you can take are mages of some kind.
Yes!
Come on, let's see the Brax. Broken into pizzas.
Leave it to me to have the luck to actually get a Brack on first try.
You and I and the various luck you get while I don't came to a head in that game we did for Winter Dab, and yeah, I've seen it in action.
That was broken into pieces.
Broken into pizzas.
So,
bring them back up. Oh, that's the air orb for you, and that's 1 of 4 down.
Yep. We still have 3 left. Broken into Pisces.
It's my dyslexic brain. Even though I know it's Pisces, I still read this Pisces. Alright, so because I forgot to do this earlier, I'm actually wasting a little bit of time. Life Reboot, yeah, the gold O was in Gaia. He bought 2. They were like 14 grand-ish.
Yes, they were. And since I am heading back there...
You might get your 3rd. Yeah. Or 4th.
I'm going to buy my 4 pro rings and my other 2 gold bracelets.
What? Why not go for the glory? Get all 5.
I'll grab 7.
There you go.
And a half. Don't ask me how I can grab a half.
just break it. That's the one you make Rydia wear.
No, Rydia gets the black shirt.
That Rydia doesn't get anything if she doesn't get up off the ground.
So we're gonna go ahead and drop the chain armor and the silver Cheerio.
Perfect.
And we're gonna head back down over here to Gaia. We're gonna pick up 2 more gold Cheerios. And with that said and done, no hate. If we're talking about an anchor, it's Tella. But
as long as Tella doesn't get levels, I've seen enough of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. I know what the best anchoring is.
No, you anchor Tella with a cursed ring, then you have 0 agility anchor. But I digress. So now that we've translated the slab, we're going to go ahead and head over to Lefane, find out what's over here. So let's find out what the Lefanians have for us tonight. Insert time of day here.
Well, it's 18 of 18, and the only special item in the pool is the Maza. So, I mean, we've got 4 endpoints at this point. Maza, Rod, Oxiel, which we just got, and the key. One of them has to be lurking in Volcano, one of them has to be lurking in Earth, one of them has to be lurking in Sea. And of course, it couldn't be the Oxiel, even if we didn't just have it, because Sea can't be self-locked.
Correct.
So, whatever quest chains we still have on the table, those 3 dungeons are going to have.
So, yeah, having just picked up the Oxiale and already being over here on the northern continents, well, it's only going to make logical sense to head over here to Sea. And I'm going to pick up some more...
With Short Topher, do we need all the items or can we skip some? The beta flags to unlock some of this are not on, or to lock some of it are not on. So there's no loot plate blocking Short Topher, there's no key lock door blocking Short Topher. So in theory, you don't need the key, you don't need the loot, but we already got the loot, which kind of sucks that it was in Sky Palace. So in
Correct.
theory, no, you just need to be able to break the 4 orbs and get into Topher and you're done.
But the nice part about picking up the loot is that it is a bonus to EXP and gold gained. Because with how the scaling works on these flags, we're gaining extra gold and EXP per key item. And yeah, Wolf and Josh, the incentive in air was the loot. Or, as you may have seen it pop up on the screen, the song.
Did it all for a song.
What song it was? I don't know.
Drowning
I've
Pool
heard
Bodies.
it's never going to give you up, though.
Yeah. I mean, 2 your bodies did hit the floor, so...
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Velk asking, you still get boosts for incentives that are turned in and leave your inventory? Yes, you do.
Yes.
It's just a checklist.
Yeah, that's all that it does, is it gives a checklist and determines the EXP growth overall.
But now, that Life Reboot does raise a good question, or raise a good point. We're looking at slightly weaker bosses with no alt final boss and a short Topher, which means that the amount of levels you need and the amount of gear you need are lessened in comparison to what you might need for, like, a long dungeon.
Correct. The only downside is that since we're running all mages, well, that's a sword. That's a sword. I got all the swords. Every single one of them. I opened up the chest and it overflowed my inventory. And gave me every sword. More or less, what I'm looking for currently is a ribbon.
Yeah, ribbon would be nice. Just in case one of the bosses you have to face has an instant death spell that could take out your white mage. And because of that Mazamin you have, you could play White Samurai if you wanted.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ruse, so that's the only downside. So I may need to check level 8, see if I can find Ruse.
It's got the charges for it.
I mean, maybe.
It's got bonus MP. It should already have charges for it.
Like I said, I mean, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, it's only sitting at 9 of every level.
Yep. Pretty much.
Actually, speaking of charges, I'm sitting at 3 on the Black Wizard, so...
Time to go get Cure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
All right, chat. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, because I want to have you guys interact in this. Do you want Brack strats on Kraken, or do you want damage strats on Kraken?
Go for the glory. Cake strats.
That's only Lich.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't work on him. He's water. You can't quake water beasts.
The Sage Blessing would make this overpowered.
Yeah.
X for strats. We'll get into those later, Marcus.
They want Brack and Bane strats.
We'll go Brack and Bane. Fear strats. Well, I don't have fear, so unfortunately I can't deliver on that one.
That'd be amazing, though.
Oh, I didn't say I'd be doing melee damage strats, JLo. So we've got a few greed chests going down into the deeper regions of the sea to actually access Kraken, and I'll check a few of them. But we are going to pass what is my favorite room in the game, and that is the Sharknado room. Punch strats. I'm not one punch mage. Though that would be amazing. Alright. Since y'all wanted it, I'll give you some Bane and Brack. Yes. Why not? We're just gonna go all out. Yeah, Fear strats will actually work. What Fear does is it lowers an enemy's morale by 40, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm going to be a very mad lad, and I'm going to use some X for strats later on, because it's a fun one to show off. I'll probably have 27 charges of Brack to play with, so why not? No, not Quad X, I said Brack. So we got 3 Brax and a Bane. I'm just going to stay silent for a moment. Because, of course.
That luck. That luck, man.
I know you wish you had that luck, Darkman.
I do. Oh my god, that luck. I mean, you saw me in that play-in race for spring tournament, where I had to cast it 15 times on 2 different dives to get Kraken to die, and that was the difference between me making it in on the first round and not for spring tournament. So
yeah,
that luck.
Brack is my baby. So we only got 2 dungeons left.
Yep.
And
oh yeah, right.
So I'm gonna head to Volcano because I can actually do this. No, JLo, my marathon luck was during the No Kid Hungry marathon in Kirby Superstar.
I did all right in the No Kid Hungry marathon. I actually I won that race that I was in for Final Fantasy.
I had a 1:14.51 on my KSS run, which was extremely good, but nice. I had so many sloppy areas in it. But back to the seed. As you can see, we're diving through the volcano, heading towards Carry, and we're going to grab the incentive item in here. You may notice I am walking on the lava tiles as much as I possibly can, and that is because walking on the lava tiles doesn't increment the step counter to where an encounter will happen. In more simpler terms, it doesn't generate threat.
In even simpler terms, monster no like lava.
Alright, so what do we have here? Is it going to be a thing? That's a thing.
And we're looking
That's
at,
a thing.
Well, a shark. And... Ooh, Gurnaga Air. I mean, that's good experience.
Even better money. But like I said, it's a thing. Alright, so I don't have anything great I can use against you, so I'm just going to go with this. So, heading into Carry, I don't have Confuse. I've only got Fade Nuke, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to Fade Nuke. And having picked up the herb from the volcano, I am then going to go ahead and turn it into the Chancellor for the Elven Prince and find out what the Elven Prince has.
And yes, that was a paper carry because, as we noted, bosses max out at 80% of their health, so everything's going to be a little papery.
Take a chug, forget how to walk, you know, the good stuff.
I missed it. What did we get?
The bottle.
Bottle! The quest chain continues.
So we went from herb to bottle, which means the only 2 items we have left are rod and key.
There's also the adamant.
Oh, and adamant.
The adamant.
Yeah, I completely forgot we haven't had the adamant yet.
No adamant. Abba's greatest hits not found yet. So that will be here. More than likely. More than likely.
No.
More than likely. As I said, the adamant. Okay.
Okay.
So. Oh, double dip of Earth. Oh, this seed just keeps on giving.
This seed is.
As I said, the adamant is in Earth. We knew that all along.
Did I? Okay. I'll be fine with heal 3. So, I'm going to do something that I highly, highly do not recommend. I'm gonna go for ribbonless wallless Topher.
Well, it's a short Topher. It's a possibility.
It's a short Topher with low HP scale.
Yep.
So, but even still, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to see an insta-kill spell and then just immediately fall over dead.
Yep.
Because that is a complete and total possibility.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Double Dip Earth required, which
sucks.
Is like, yay, but at the same time,
I feel like we did talk about way back, maybe 45 minutes ago, the fact that you could have Rod in Earth.
Yes. But in this case, it's not going to be the Rod, it's going to be the Adamant. And Life Reboot, Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? I could probably Quad X. So we're gonna make a friendly dive down to our friendly neighborhood vampire and run into unrunnable giants on the way because
why not?
Unrunnables, they're a thing. Correct, Velik. Only the ribbon and the black shirt resist the time element. Everything else has no resistance to time element. The only other thing that you can do to resist the time element is cast Wall. Wall acts as a single battle ribbon. Excuse me.
We need an ATIM spell. That's what we need.
This isn't Spellcrafter. A rub will only protect against the death element. So let's go. Where you're right, Hate, there's only one problem. I didn't have the money for Wall. I had the money for Heal 3.
So here's that Abament we were talking about.
It was in such a badament location. I'm not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you're just a dancing queen, and you're getting your rod. So, we've done everything. Now we just have to go kill Lich.
The who?
The speed bump down here.
I was about to say. So we're just gonna dive through Earth like, you know, everything's normal. And just gonna take a stroll. Enjoy these caves. These bats look pretty cool.
More unrunnable giants.
Abament. I like it. I like it.
Don't ask me to quote any other ABBA songs because I don't know them.
Full clear is perfectly fine. These flags are meant to be full cleared.
Yeah. With the early ship and the probability of an early canoe coming your way, or early canal coming your way as well, you're more than likely going to be sailing the high seas, which means you are more than likely going to have to full clear.
Or even potentially early canoe floater.
Mm-hmm.
Even with early canoe floater, there's no guarantee that this flag set wouldn't be a full clear, even though it only has 4 extra incentivized locations, which are the 4 Fiend dungeons.
Well, and something to consider is that, yes, there are some items that are duds. The Ruby could be a dud if you get the floater early enough. The key and the loot are not needed, but the game is still going to try and give you all of them, and with so few locations to check, and the fact that the tail is already given to you for free, more than likely you're going to end up full clearing. You'd have to really big brain it to not have to get that last key item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Life Reboot. I actually appreciate that. like I said, with Waterfall, I was playing on a gamble and a proximity play, and it's just one of those things that happened to work out in my favor. So yeah, Earth 5. Let's do something. I should have bought Zap so that way I could instant kill Lich, but you know.
Cake was also on the table.
I didn't have cake.
It was on the table.
I mean, I could grab it for Lich too.
If you want.
Maza and wait. Maybe. What level was... Ah, perfect. Okay. I can actually do this. So here we go. I hope you all are ready, because I am not.
Here we go. No fast. Fast is not needed. We've got mages. Doesn't even validate, and there are no... Oh, don't even have the Fiend 2s. Just Chaos. Wow, I made this really kind. Got our Invis 2s coming out. Got a nuke. Nuke for 350. Ooh, that's a nice damage roll. No Exfer. Nuke again for 187. Less nice damage roll. One decent punch. That was 161. Yes. Got an Exfer good of a cast. Showing off a gold ring, and we're drink strats. Ah, there's the Exfer. Defenseless and an Invis 2. 2 rounds of defense. Drink strats ahoy. Brack. Here 4. Brack. And Brack. Cure 4 picks the white mage back up on their feet. Brack. Ineffective Brack. Ineffective Brack. Ineffective. Another round coming. Gonna continue curing while we're bracking. Brack. Ineffective Brack. Broken into pieces. And that is a 106 on a very kind flag set right there. Yeah, so not having the Fiend 2s to have to fight, having a Chaos that you have to fight instead of an alt final, very easy Topher. All the danger is in the early bosses. So this is entirely a seed to teach you about instant kills, what your mages can do, and how to navigate the world with the party that you're given, which is, admittedly, kinda weak.
It's literally mage utility.
Yep.
And I didn't even get to showcase the full utility of the mages because I didn't have all of the spells necessary to showcase the full utility.
Yep.
But what I did there with Exfer into Brack changes Brack from a 1 in 256 chance to a 3 in 256 chance. So I basically only have 2 frames that I can time to have Brack cast to where it lands on Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically the same way as the manipulated vanilla speedrun,
mm-hmm.
where they're using the Bane Sword with only 1 frame to have that go off.
Yeah, if you watch the speedruns, like, I've watched the 4 white mage speedrun, which is realistically a 1 white mage speedrun, because you don't need the other 3 white mages. They go until they get the Bane Sword, and then they basically just use the Bane Sword against every enemy that's susceptible to it. Which is just about every enemy, except for maybe liches. So.
And.
Yes, you're gonna say?
And yeah, I talked to Life Reboot before this as well. And the Async Weekly is going to be very good. I highly recommend you give it a try.
So with that, do we have any other questions for Sonny Wrath, or any final thoughts, Sonny, while they're thinking about their questions?
Darkman, you rolled a really, really good seed. There are many more consistent plays that could be made than what I did, but outside of that, if you know how to adapt to any situation or learn how to adapt to any situation, any party, any flag set really isn't that bad. Question from Life Reboot: how I decided on my party. More or less, I looked at each of the blessings and weighed what I might end up planning on trying to do to finish out this seed, which was more than likely going to be attempt to X for Brack Chaos, and try to Brack Kraken, try to Brack Tia, and then either Nuke Fade or Cake or Zap Lich 1. But mainly it was looking at the blessings and then determining what I wanted to do based upon what I know each spell does. Wolf and Josh, is there any way to tell what frame will allow Brack to work? There is not, unfortunately. So with the X for Brack and it basically being a 2-frame window, you really have no actual way to set it up. You have to go through trial and error. And in my case, getting it on, what, the 4th Brack Darkmoon? Or was it the 5th? It was the 5th Brack.
Yeah, it was the 5th.
It was extremely lucky.
Yeah. You could have been there for a while.
You can go through all 27 of them and never have it land.
Mm-hmm. And then it's on to Banesword. Whee!
Which is also a 3 and 256.
Yep. Okay. I think with that, then, we are going to wrap this up. I want to thank everyone for coming out and watching this special presentation of the Duckling Bootcamp Extra Credit for Week 4, the Mage Masher flag set. Flags, of course, are in the chat. You want to use the flag command to see them now. Life Reboot will have the async posted, I think, shortly, if it's not already up. So you can then go and play a new seed of this one. And then in the description of this video for the future, we'll make sure we have the flags posted as well, so you can check that out anytime from now until the rest of eternity and play these flags. So for myself and Sonny Wrath in the booth, I want to thank you guys for coming out and watching. If you're new to this and you like what you saw, come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can check out links to the Discord and the development Discord right there, as well as, of course, playing the game and being a part of this community. We've got 4 more weeks of the Duckling Bootcamp going on, leading up to our Duckling Derby. So if this is a game that seems to interest you, this is the perfect time to jump in, learn the ropes. You got 4 weeks to pick it up, and then come hang out with a bunch of Ducklings, all learning the game along with you. So Monday, I believe, on RPG Limit Break will be the next of the main week Duckling Bootcamp seeds, and we will get you guys up and rolling with that. So enjoy this Mage Masher edition, and we will see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you next time.
I wish all of you Ducklings good luck on it. It's a fun flag set.